Alright, 69-second summary for the new Metagross deck, which is neither meta nor gross, but like I said in the Lycanroc video, it's tough out here for road decks, is that Metagross can at least body Zacian and Raging Bolt and Golden Gold decks all day. For 2 Psychic Energy, Metagross only does 130 damage. But when you can join the beams, which is like crossing the streams with another fan at a baseball game and have Metang and Beldum on the bench, that jumps to 280. So you're one-shotting the likes of Zacian, Fezandipiti, Golden Go, Raging Bolt, Roaring Moon, Zoroark, and so many other EXs. That's the good news. The bad news is that you have to have a Metagross, Metang, and Beldum in play all at once to do that 280 damage. This means you'll be utilizing TM Evolution quite a bit, same with Tulip and Super Rod. And because you have Tulip, the weaker 60 hit point Psychic Beldum is the choice. But if you find yourself getting chewed up by Dragapult, switch to the 70 hit point Metal one, which can't be recovered with Tulip. Of course, I have a few lists you can find in the description. What I found is that prizing a single Beldum can screw you over in surprisingly crazy ways, and prizing 2 is game over. Daisy's Help and Redeemable Ticket are options, but at that point, just realize PTCGL hates you and move on. Otherwise, when this deck works, it's actually really strong. 280 is a great number right now, and you can even pair it with Lillie's Clefairy EX to create a really gross meta road deck. Alright, I think we just have a knockout on the freaking Zacian here. As long as things don't go horribly, horribly wrong, I'm pretty sure we just got it. So, what's the play here? Because we have to, I think I have to go, we go Arven first, and then we play with our balls, because that's going to be able to thin the deck out by a card. So we need to get a Metang or a Metagross here, and then we just win the game. That's it. Just give me a Metang or a Metagross. You gave me nothing. You gave me absolutely freaking nothing. Okay, so then I think I... okay, so if they knock out the Natu, I should not have gotten rid of that TM Evolution. I was like, well, what if they screw me over? Then what do I do? I mean, putting 70 on the Zacian doesn't really do anything for me. I think it's better to just go, yeah, calm down. I mean, I think we just go end turn, to be honest. I think this is surprisingly the move to do here, is just do nothing. Because I needed just one of the Pokemon. There should be 3 Metang in the deck. Uh-oh. No, this is fine. This is fine. We're losing a Beldum. That's perfect. They didn't believe in the heart of the cards that they could knock out a Metang. All right, we got it. They took a 2-prize turn. We have Reversal Energy. We have Rare Candy. We have Tulip, which is really, really good. So despite what they have done, we're actually in a pretty decent position. We're knocking out the Zacian this turn. They can take a knockout with their Cramorant, which is highly unfortunate. All right, I think we just go... We don't put the Fezandipiti down because they can knock that out with Cramorant, so that's very important. We go Rescue Board on you. We go... I mean, is it a little too early to use Tulip here? Because if we just go Nest Ball for a Beldum, we're fully set up. We just need a couple cards here. Okay, and then we go Clairvoyant Sense, and worst case scenario, we put the Fezandipiti into play. Right? Worst case scenario? Good. Awesome. This is great. This could not have worked out better. We just go Reversal Energy on the Metagross. Easy dubs. Retreat. We have Tulip for next turn. The deck is rolling. This is how the deck is supposed to work, right? They're not supposed to take a 2-prize turn. You're not supposed to prize a Xatu, but if you don't prize any of your Metagross line, you're in a great position. And I added a second Reversal Energy in the Mimikyu list. I'm not sure that's the right call. I'm not sure if 2 Reversal Energy is the right call. You obviously want to increase your chances of getting it. And we knock out the Zacian next turn, take them off the Cramorant. So this is what I've been talking about with Hop's Cramorant, is that it's better than I thought, but it's also worse than you think. Because if you have a 2-prizer in play, they take a 2-prize KO. See, they're setting up for back-to-back Cramorant turns. But what they don't know is that I'm about to beat their butthole off. So... I'm about to knock out, I think the okay, that's, I'd say I feel bad for you, but I don't. Okay, now what do I do? We have an embarrassment of riches here. I guess I just attach the Psychic and do a rack down. All right, so then we go... No, we don't even want the Metang in play. Yeah, we just go for a rack down. And Adewale, why not Luxurious Cape? Because this deck is kind of slow. So according to Tova, it's like me. It's very slow. And you will need like 1 or 2 turns to set up. So you really don't want to see single prize decks. You want to see multi-prize decks. You want to see the Zacians and the Latiases and the Raging Bolts and the Golden Go. Golden Go is a great matchup. Anything with 280 or less hit points is an amazing matchup for this deck. If you're playing a 2-prize deck and it has 280 or less hit points, you're screwed. But yeah, so the thing I was talking about with Cramorant is that you can't have a 2-prizer in play on your 4-prize turn or your opponent's 4-prize turn. Okay. All right, get out of here with the Funky Dory. Oh, they have to attach to it to use it. My thick Latias. All right, so we're just going to counter catcher up the Zacian. They're probably going to concede because they can't do anything. Probably just going to concede when they see this. Okay, so we got to play this perfectly. I am a tier 1 Pokemon card player. We got to go for, I think just Beldum, Metagross Energy because we have the one Xatu. And this is another thing. It's like, oh, you can target my Xatu, but that's not actually good for you, right? It's like you can target my Xatu, but I've probably already gotten value out of it. So it's like, did it really behoove you to do that? Probably not. All right, so let's Clairvoyant Sense. I should probably save that, but who cares? They're going to concede anyways because they can't handle this. You know, if you want a deck that just kind of destroys Hop Zacian EX, play Metagross. If it works, you win. If it doesn't work, you lose, but that's fine. I mean, it's a road deck. It's a road deck. If it's a road deck that has a higher than a 10% win rate, then that's a good road deck in my books. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Cramorant's now useless. You could have had 2 turns of 210, which would have been a freaking amazing. But now we're in a situation where you're just like, oh, I have 2 Cramorant that do nothing. I committed a choice band to this. So like when it was my 3rd marriage, you regret committing to it. Yeah, they can go Monkey Dory. They can knock out a Beldum. That's why I put more Beldum into play. Yeah, if a road deck has over 50% win rate, then it's just, you know, a tier 3, tier 2 deck. Yeah, if it works, you win. If you don't, lose. So yeah, they're going to knock out my Beldum this turn. I don't care which one. There's one that's going to remain because they're not... That's the thing. You're not knocking out my Metagross. Right? They're not knocking out my Metagross this turn. And I can retreat this guy. I can attach to it, retreat, and I can just knock out your Zacian. And it's like, what are you going to do? So this is why I'm not sold on the reversal energy. Right? Like I do have Switch in the deck, so it's not all bad, but we're going for the win this turn. If we don't get it this turn, then it's your fault. Okay, how do we make sure we don't lose this? Well, that's an amazing card to get. Okay, so rescue board on the active, energy there, and then we have the retreat, so that's great. I have to go Metagross. We go Metang. And then, oh, do I just have it? Oh, wow, I didn't even need to do anything. I was like, oh, I gotta go get Fezandipiti or do this and do that. No, I just got it. See, like I told you, when this deck works, it works real good. It works surprisingly well. We got 2 Metagross in play. You never really want that. But look at that. We did 280 damage 3 times and we won the game. It's holy crap. See, when it works, it's really, really good. Obviously, it is a road deck, so you're going to have those games where it's like you lose 5 in a row. You know, Dragapult's a tough matchup unless you're playing Lillie's Clefairy, or if you have Black Belts training or Maximum Belt. But when it works, this damn thing is great. Oh, my opponent's going to be super salty here. They were not expecting this. All right, so I think we go for the Fezandipiti, right? You know, you dig... Sometimes you're digging for gold. Sometimes you're digging for a boss's orders. Let's go Metagross. Do I Do I do anything? No, we just knocked out the Fezandipiti. What's going on? What are you doing? So yeah, the Archaludon matchup isn't great, and especially when they have turn 1 triple Duraludon. But if they evolve this one, then we are absolutely golden. They're knocking me out with this Duraludon with the hammer in. But then I can just knock them out with Mimikyu if I want to. So they're taking a single prize. Me losing Mimikyu is totally fine, because I can just obviously recycle it. So if you don't get off to a fast start, if you're playing a multi-prize deck against Metagross and you don't get off to a very fast start, which my opponent didn't, and I get off to I get a turn 1 Trolley. If I go Arven, Trolley, TM Evolution, and evolve some people, your odds of winning go way down. Like, for you, not for me. I'm amazing if you couldn't tell. But like, your odds of winning go way, way down. Now the question is, do I take the knockout with Metagross? I know this is weird, but, the more that I think about it, it kind of seems like the Metagross is less important than the Mimikyu. As very, very weird as that sounds. Okay, well, I didn't notice that I didn't have enough energy in the deck. That's okay. All right, so let's go. Okay, so let's go attach to you, and then Rare Conde. Go to the Rare Conde. So yeah, I should have played with my rod a little bit. That'll happen sometimes. Sometimes you're just living your life, and then you forget to play with your rod. All right, so let's get all the things back in the hand. Let's go 1, 2. Actually, let's get 2 energy, right? Let's rectify my mistake. And then we go Pal Pad for the bosses in the Tulip. Okay, Adewale, no, you gifted me those subs last stream. You gifted me the subs last stream. So unfortunately for you, Trust Your Pilot his memory is terrible because he's old. Okay, so we go Clairvoyant Sense to the Metang. I don't want to commit this energy, but it's like, I don't want to commit the energy just yet, right? I'm not committed. My current girlfriend says I have commitment issues, but joke's on her. I have multiple girlfriends. So if I'm not committed, then how can I have one girlfriend for each day of the week? Add in a Skeletor GX. You want this deck that has to basically recycle 3 Pokemon every single turn to win to add in a Skeletor GX. Are you a crazy person? But I am looking at other things. Like, I'm looking at what are any good basic grass and fire type Pokemon to pair with Lilligant. There's very few, right? If Hentai V was still in standard and we still had like Magma Basin, Lilligant would be hilarious. Well, yeah, that's more of a contract than a commitment, but I get what you're saying. Right, like Entei V with Lilligant and like Area Zero, you're one-shotting everything. It annoys me so much that they screwed up the release schedule of Lilligant and Blaziken. We should have had Lilligant and Blaziken EX in Prismatic Evolutions. For no reason, they decided to delay them to post-rotation when Lilligant would have been able to thrive. All right, the game begins now. That was all training for this moment. Okay, so they have an Archaludon. I have to damage the Archaludon. Yes, I know how stupid some of the things that I say sound. I have to damage the Archaludon. Yes, I understand that some of the things that I say are very dumb. You don't have to remind me. I'm not Nickelback. This isn't how you remind me of anything. All right, so let's go. Yeah, I guess we just go Super Rod, because we don't need to really do too much here. We have enough energy, I think. Actually, we should probably... Thinking about it, I have played this deck a little bit off stream. I have whacked off a little bit on my own. I think because I have Tulip in the deck, you do kind of want to save your shots here. So I will Iono them down to 4. That'll probably screw me over more than it screws. Ooh, hang on. Hang on. Did I just Did I do that? Did I just do something very funny? Did I just draw into the exact card that I needed to win this game? Okay. I think I go for the Zacian EX and we go down to 1 prize, but what if they Iono me, right? Isn't that terrible if they just Iono me off of this? So I think we do a Rescue Board and Ultra Ball. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Should I have done it? Because I'm really worried about getting... Ooh, suck my butt. I'm really worried about getting Iono'd. Right? Like, I can still retreat. But I think this is the safest thing, right? Because they'd have to get a double to knock out my Metagross this turn, or they have to bosses, and I can most likely muster up another Metagross. It's just getting the energy that I need. I don't know. I feel like I should have just gone for it. Right? It's just, I've been Iono to 1 so many times in my life and been screwed over so many... I don't see what your play is here. I do not see any play. Yeah, like, if you could have doubled up my Metagross... Okay, are they just trying to Insta-Strike and delay? I applaud the effort, but it ain't working. It ain't working. I'm going to get rid of all of your, your main attacker. So the reason I was so hesitant is because of the Iono to 1. Okay, they got the Turo. That's fine, but now I'm just going to Iono you. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. I thought they were going to bring up the Archaludon. But yeah, the other reason I was worried is because they could have just Turo'd and done some shenanigans and all this stuff, and I wanted to make sure I knocked out the one that had the energy. But this Zacian should have been a Duraludon. They should have brought up the Archaludon. Obviously, they don't know that my hand is absolutely stacked like my Thursday girlfriend. They went for the Mimikyu, by the way. Just wanna, yeah, you went for the Mimikyu. Just you went for the Mimikyu. All right, so let's go retreat. I guess I shouldn't have put the rescue board there because who cares? And then we go. We don't want to play with our balls. I mean, I guess I do want to get rid of the Iono because it's like, what am I going to use the Iono for? And then we go get a... Yeah, I mean, I think we just get a Metang, right? No, we get... We're going to have a Beldum. We're going to have a Metang. I don't know. I feel like I don't get anything because we might, depending on the situation, we might need any 3 of those. All right, that's cool. So let's go energy on the Beldum. There's a reversal, which is going to be useless in about 2 seconds. So there you go, conjoined beams. And the Archaludon matchup, again, it's not great because you do have to worry about so many things. But if you can get, like, anything, right? Yeah, the double reversal. Ugh. But if you can do 30 damage with Psy Punch, or put 70 on them with Ghost Eye, or flip 2 heads with Triple Strike. They got an Earthworm, but if you can flip 2 heads with Triple Strike and just put 20 damage on the Archaludon, you're singing. It's if you have to attack with your Metagross and do 280 and then they Turo up the Archaludon and just attack again with the Archaludon, you're really, really screwed. So that's where things get etch-a-sketchy. And then there's an Iono, and then we just win the game because I set up my damage, baby. Oh, what's that? What's that? You set up your damage, Poilet? Oh, Poilet, what are you doing setting up your damage? You can't be that smart. Poilet, what you doing? What are you doing being a smarty pants? Oh, crap. They're going to knock out my... Oh, but we got the Tulip. We literally got the 1 card we needed. Oh, and they can't knock out the Metagross. So we literally have the 1 card. They Iono'd me into the 1 card that would win us the game. And I still could have, 2-shot them with the Metagross. Because 130, that's what I learned playing this, is that 130, oh crap, I gotta restart the game. Is that 130 is not that bad of a number, to be completely honest with you. I thought this deck would be almost unplayable because you can only do 130. But that sets things up for 2-shots. Right? It's actually surprisingly a useful attack. You wouldn't expect it. All right, then we go Metang. So yeah, if you're facing a lot of Zacian, and like most players are playing Zacian these days because it's the first free deck you get. Everyone's like, oh, it's a free deck, let's play it. Metagross absolutely freaking bodies Zacian, and it is so much fun. Though you might want to switch to the 70 hit point Beldum, but like you saw how useful Tulip was. So it's a risk reward factor. It's like Tulip versus, you know, 70 hit points. And I got Tulips. Wait, you got two? Ah, crap. I asked myself a very important question before this turn started. What does someone as handsome as me do in this situation? And I think we just play Pokemon cards, right? We just play Pokemon cards, and we Fezandipiti into an Iono, and we win the game. We Fezandipiti'd into an Arven, which is not great. But I can go Poffin, TM Evolution, because we don't have the knockout. So we go Poffin for Natu, and then we get a Xatu down. I think we go Metang there. They're not threatening a Dragapult quite yet, which is quite very nice. Very nice. Oh god, if I don't have a freaking Xatu, I'm gonna be so upset. Okay, so they'll knock out the Natu. You know, they got a Fezandipiti they can knock out, so I essentially have to take a 2-prize KO next turn. If I don't take a 2-prize KO next turn, that's not great. I think, yeah, we're just gonna get a Xatu, we're gonna get a Metagross. Yeah, we're just kind of hoping now, because I'm gonna need to knock out that Munkidori, but we need 2 energy, so I'm gonna need a switch card, which is a little awkward, but we're fully set up to attack with Metagross. I have to knock out a 2-prizer though, because the way the math could work out in this matchup, we could simply lose if they just knock out the Fezandipiti, which would be very bad. Not nice. So if they go Munkidori KO, I promote the... I mean, there's no reason to use Rack Down, because we are basically just 2-prize KOs or bust, simply because I have the stupid Fezandipiti. Like, I know that they're going to be able to stack their deck, they're going to be able to draw a bunch of cards, they're going to have Golden Go in play, they're going to have probably multiple Dragapult. They potentially, yeah, I was going to say, they could potentially just go for a TM Evolution turn, and just go double Dracloak just to smooth out their draws, and I have nothing going on. So this was actually a really smart decision by them, because I am sucking a huge butt. And now they can just take all of the KOs. But what they don't understand is that I'm about to get the craziest top deck in history. You know what? Next turn. We're gonna get the craziest top deck next turn. That's what I meant to say. You know, the Poffin, that was just a tease. Okay, so Dragapult, they don't know that I have Lillie's Clefairy, so that'll be very funny when we one-shot that, but then they're just gonna one-shot us in return. So I don't quite know how we're supposed to win when we don't draw playable cards. That is definitely, as the kids would say, an oopsie daisy. They're winning though, so that's nice. They are currently winning. Okay. They would have to play Crispin to attack with the Dragapult. Okay, so good. We got this. Press 1 if we got this. Press 2 if your balls are sweaty. All right. And your knees are weak. We got to find a way to scare them to concede. We don't need to do that. We'll figure it out. Okay? We're going to figure it out. We have an Arven. Dendolus, thank you. Oh, those are all useless. Well, I mean, I guess technically the energy's fine. All right, so let's go into Metagross. And then, oh cool, we got a Xatu that we can't use. All right, so I have it, right? We just go Arven for Countercatcher, Rescue Board. Okay, so we do have it. The question is, who do we knock out? Who does Trust Your Pilot knock out? I think it has to be... It can't be Golden. It has to be Dragapult, though, right? But if I go for the Dragapult... Oh, no, we have the Maximum Belt. Oh, my God. See, I told you. Being stupid makes your life so much more fun and interesting and surprising. And I said the maximum belt was a useless card. All right, so let's go. We have a Beldum in there, so that's bad. There's nothing to get, right? I don't need the... I mean, the Natu wouldn't be bad. Especially if I just get the Xatu off the prize. Oh, no, we have it in the hand. Yeah, I guess we do go for the Natu. So then we save the Metagross. We're going to have to be very careful here, though, right? We're going to have to use a rare candy probably next turn, assuming they don't, like, unfair stamp me, because we don't know what their ace spec is. Right? I don't think we've seen... Oh, Energy Search Pro. Okay, right. Golden Go. Duh. I was just so geared up. I was so Gearbox softwared up. No, that doesn't make sense, because Borderlands 4 got announced for Switch 2 today. So I was like, Gearbox. Randy Pitchford looked like a very, looked like a retired clown if you watch that. He looked like, he looked like he was trying to sell you something in Resident Evil 4, but like the Temu version of Resident Evil 4. All right, so we can knock out Golden Go. We can win this game now. Now that Dragapult's off the field, we can win this game. And E-Rich, no, it did really well in Japan, like at the start of their post-rotation format. Because the reason is you have someone who hits super hard and you have someone who can spread cheats. And in my experience, spreading cheats is very important to happiness. So as long as they don't take a multi-prize turn, we're okay. But like Dragapult is an okay matchup. Again, you might want to have like maybe a 2-2 split of Beldum. So you have the 70 hit point one, and then you just evolve through the 60 hit point one. There's so many minor changes you can do with this one. What are you, Steve? You're making minor changes? Who are you, Jack Black? Lost one. Yeah, you get $30 off by spending $700 before taxes. All right, so here we go. So we knock out Golden Go. We're gonna have... Well, hopefully they knock out Fezandipiti. I think that's kind of what I'm hoping that they do, is they just knock out Fezandipiti right here. Okay, there's a TM Evolution. We want to get that out of the deck. We're going to need some recovery. That is very important. We need recovery cards right now. I should probably check the deck to see what my recovery situation is. So let's go Poffin, check the deck. We have a Tulip and we have 2 Super Rods. So we are not using Redeemable Ticket. 100% Redeemable Ticket, not happening. We have to take 2 prize knockouts the rest of the game. Yeah, so we go Clairvoyant Sense on this guy. Okay, so the Arven gets it for us. So 100% we have it this turn. We go Xatu. I would have obviously preferred to have just the reversal energy in my hand. There's the rod. We can play with the rod if we want. Yeah, we use the rare candy. We have a Metang. We're probably going to want to use another rare candy, which would be perfect. Well, that didn't go super duper great. All right, so we go Arven for rare candy. I mean, what's the most likely thing? They have an 18 card hand. I feel like, and they don't have an Iono, right? They never use Iono in that deck. So we go double Beldum and then Energy. I think double Beldum Energy is the best call here. Yeah, because then we can go Beldum, and then we have Tulip for all the things. We have rare candy. There's no freaking way that this goes wrong. The only way this goes wrong is if they win. Okay, so we go Metagross in the active. There's nothing else I have to do, right? I don't want to use Redeemable Ticket. I don't want to use Earthen Vessel. We're doing the 280. We have our switch. I mean, I think we just got to go for it, because all this stuff could be shipped to the bottom if they somehow have an Iono in that deck. And we'd be drawing 2. So the only way that we lose this now is if they have a Hawlucha. So if they go Hawlucha, rare candy into Dragapult, bring up the Fezandipiti, they would also need, I think, Crispin. So they would need rare candy, Dragapult, Crispin, Pokemon Catcher on the Fezandipiti into Dragapult, and then 60 on the Beldum. It's very unlikely. Right? It's possible, especially with a freaking like 25 card hand. Press 1 if you've ever given your opponent a 21 card hand and been like, no, that's fine. I don't really care. You can have a 30 card hand if you want to have one. But wait, is that actually 23? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, hang on. 25. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it. And I know my hand, like this is one of the things that I know is a little not fun for the YouTube and Twitch audience, is that the chat box, it covers up my hand. If it covered up my feet, there'd be a mutiny. But it only covers up my hand, which is like the 5th best body part that I have. So you shouldn't be too worried about that. All right, so we have the rare candy. We just go rare candy, this Beldum, double attached to it. Hopefully we get Tulip, because, I mean, will redeemable ticket witness this game? Because I wasn't checking my energy situation. So that is going to be very interesting what my energy situation is. Yeah, I think we got it. If I lose this game, I will show feet. Okay, we're going to give them like a 25 card hand. Imagine having a 25 card hand and you still get beaten off, by someone who's got an iron leg. That means they got iron feet too, but Metagross doesn't have feet. Yeah, we want to see your feet. Shiny Ray, you're not even sub Shiny Ray. Yeah, there's nothing they can do, right? They could see the writing on the wall and like switch into Monkey Dory, but I don't even think they can do that. Right? They just got rid of a rescue board. But I'm trying to think, like, what is their strategy? They just have to hope that I don't have it in like a 16 card hand or how many cards I have in my hand. Because fun fact, PDCGL doesn't tell you how many cards are in your hand. It tells you how many cards are in your opponent's hand, but not yours. You go play TCG Masters, it'll tell you everything that you ever wanted to know, and some things you didn't, like the day you're going to lose your foot virginity. All right, so let's go Xatu in the active, and that's GG. As long as we got to check the deck. That is step 1, but we're just going to go flip the script. There's a reversal. And okay, so then we have the super rod, so we 100% got it. Easy clap. I've got the clap, and I've got a way to do it easily. All right. So the rare candy, I was very like, oh, we can cut the rare candies. The rare candies aren't that important in the deck. No, you have to have 2 rare candy, because there's situations like this where you have to rare candy a naked Beldum, and then you have to do the thingy thing. So rare candy actually turned out to be much, much more important than I thought in this deck. So it's like, if you're looking to cut a card, it cannot be rare candy. You need 2, maybe 3. Reversal energy has been less important. Like, I understand why reversal energy is in the deck. It's if you can't get a Xatu ready to go, if you have to prioritize your Metagross line over the Xatu, then reversal energy allows you to attack for free. But I would say that rare candy has been more important than reversal energy, like, all the time. So we were tied on prizes there. If I had to rely on freaking reversal energy, we would have sucked a huge butt, but instead our butt got sucked, and I'm much happier I'm much happier receiving than giving. Jeez, could you imagine? Of course, we're facing the one freaking Raging Bolt player on the entire face of the whole freaking earth that has Bravery Charm. So this is out of range. Oh my god, okay. So what I can do is I can attack around the Raging Bolt. So I was thinking like, oh, what if I bosses and then go for Natu? It's like, no, that's not too good for me. That's not too good for me. Oh wait, did we? Oh, we don't have a rescue board. So yeah, we're gonna probably need the switch. And we're gonna need the switch too. Okay, let's go. TM Evolution. Let us, even though the Xatu isn't glowing, we can use it. Yeah, if only we had that maximum, but why did I have to switch lists? All right, so let's go TM Evolution on this guy. I could have preserved the Natu and like switched into something, but I mean, we're going to take 2 prizes next turn on their Fezandipiti. We have the reversal energy. We're fine. I'm not terribly concerned right now. And then we just go TM Evolution. And the problem is, what if they target... yeah, like, it's a tough choice, right? Because what if they target my Metagross? Then I'm kind of in a bad spot. So, maybe I should have switched into the Beldum. It's just, I prized a rescue board, which makes accelerating with Xatu a little bit tougher, but they did have a nothing turn. It's really tough. But we have 2 easy knockouts. If they put another Raging Bolt down, if they put a naked Raging Bolt down, then I'm going to spank it so hard. And if I knew what sound a giraffe makes, I would make that noise right now. And okay, they're going for the Metagross. But they have to get rid of 3 energy, which is bad. Which is the sound a double makes. It's bad. All right, don't go for the Xatu. The Xatu is way better. Ah, crap. See, this is why we can't have nice things. Okay, what is the strategy now? I think we promote the Natu. If I can just get rare candy... Oh, I don't even need rare candy. I just need Metagross. Right? But losing the boss... Oh, this is... Why did they have to have the card that they needed to play the game? That is cheating. Got a stupid bravery charm. All right, worst case scenario, we go triple strike. I never thought I'd be doing this, but we got to flip 1 heads on triple strike and we'll be okay. Okay, so if I put my Fezandipiti down, do we lose the game? There's also no Lillie's Clefairy in this list. All right, so let's go reversal on this one. I'm going to draw all the cards on this side of the supporter, because if I get 2 cards, yeah, if I get 2 cards, we're fine. There should be a counter catcher in the deck. That would also be pretty cool. And if we get a rare candy, that's also good. What the hell? No! I don't need 3 Metagross. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I do not need 3 Metagross. All right, well... Historians have talked about this moment since the beginning of time. Wait, do we have a... Oh, we also don't have... Wow, that's really bad. We don't have what we need. All right, that's cool. Love that. All right, well, historians will talk about this moment for generations to come. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. Triple strike for 1 heads. All we need is 1 heads, and we win the game. No. Yes. Yes. We got 1. All we needed was 1 and we're okay. So this is the like max consistent. Ironically, this is the max consistency build of Metagross where you play 3/3 Xatu, 4/4 Metagross. There's Tulip. I think there's Daisy's Help. And then they've abandoned the whole limit the 2 prizers strategy. I believe there's a counter. I believe there's a counter catcher in the deck, but we prize that. And for the YouTube audience watching, I did try redeemable ticket because I had a game where I prized 2 Beldum, and yeah, you just kind of lose. You know, maybe if you play Lillie's Clefairy, you can maybe get around it, but you'll always prize the 2 Beldum in the worst matchup ever, which I did. And I would have won the game because I think it was against Zacian where I prized double Beldum, and you just absolutely lose the game so hard. But all I have to do to win now is just take 2 prize KOs the rest of the way. They can knock out Fezandipiti and I still win the prize trade. So that's really strong. Getting that 1 heads on triple strike. You know, I told people there will be days like this where you got a triple strike. It helps against Archaludon. It helps against Raging Bolt if they put a stupid bravery charm on them. But what I've learned is that you don't need 4 Metagross. 3 Metagross is fine. You don't need 4. We got use out of the reversal, which is great. It is technically possible that I whiff an attack this turn, which would be hilarious. Yeah, we're not whiffing. We're sniffing a chair that I Am Legend's mom just got out of, but we're not whiffing. All right, so we go Tulip for Beldum, Metang. Those 2, we don't think we need Metagross. I think we're okay. All right, so then there goes Metang. We have rare candy, so we're going to be okay there. And then all the cards in the world. We're drawing all the cards. Artazon. I don't think Artazon necessarily matters here, right? There's a rare candy. So we are good. We are handsome. We are fantastic. We're going to get a Beldum, or we're going to get a Metagross. So we're fully set up for next turn. We're set up for this turn. We're set up for all of the turns. There's no reason to bump the Noctowl. It actually behooves me to not knock out or bump their Noctowl, because if they have any sort of recovery, it just allows them to reuse the Noctowl more easily. All right. The switches? Useless. I think Rescue Board over switches, because everyone in your deck can attack, right? Even the Fezandipiti can attack. You know, you can attack with Xatu. This does knock out a Mimikyu. You're kind of screwed against Feraligatr, but no one's playing Feraligatr. And this is hilarious. The Koraidon does not knock out Metagross because I resist fighting. So they'd have to double team me. They'd have to double team me with Fan Rotom and then, or no, they'd have to go Koraidon first and then double team me with Fan Rotom, which is I Am Legend's mom's favorite move. And I'm not talking about raising her evasiveness. It actually does the opposite. Oh, that's, you know, this is a family-friendly channel, okay? I know I Am Legend's mom is part of the family, but, like, come on. Come on, Trust Your Pilot. Hold yourself to a higher standard. You know, YouTube audience watching this, just say that you're disappointed in me and that you want to see me do better, and you also want to see my feet, and you also want to see, just come up with the craziest idea for a deck. Why would you want to play the Metagross? You can only conjoin the beams, which is what happens when I Am Legend's mom uses double. No, okay, no. The Metagross doesn't matter, right? It's the Beldum and the Metang that matter. And only feet? Lost my marbles. It's a secret one. It's like my secret third YouTube channel. I hope they realize that Metagross has a resistance. Otherwise, they're about to concede these nuts in their mouth. Man, I need to lay off the happy juice before stream. You know, this is what happens when I start playing Metagross and I start winning, because just the meta has gone the complete opposite direction. Japan lied to me and said that Dragapult would be the #1 most played deck. Even though it's free, people aren't playing it on PTCGO. They're choosing Hop Zacian more than anything else. So I think Metagross is just in a really good situation. And like even a Azumarill, right? Because a Azumarill one-shot Zacian. A Azumarill can one-shot Raging Bolt if you have Lillie's Clefairy or if you just put a Vitality Band. So it's crazy. I really thought Dragapult would do better. I think we've always seen that from Japan, where Japan says Dragapult is better than it actually is, because, oh, this is gonna be great. The reversal is a little awkward, but that's fine. We just go retreat. I guess I could have Xatu'd, but whatever. We're knocking out a Raging Butt. We win the game. They're gonna concede. And we win, right? It's that simple. They can't even use Koraidon anymore because the ancient Pokemon did... oh, we got Daisy's help. Okay, it doesn't matter anymore. But, like, look at what happens. You prize Daisy's help. The odds of you prizing 2 Beldum are the same as you prizing 2 Beldum and a redeemable ticket. Daisy's help is here to help you pick and choose your targets from the prizes. But if you didn't know, the way PTCGL handles Daisy's help, if they don't concede, I'll show you. It's really bad, but the impact is lessened here. But what happens is you use Daisy's help, and it'll show you 4 prize cards on the top row and then 2, and it doesn't tell you the number. Because with PTCGL, they number the prize cards, but when you use Daisy's help, they don't tell you what the number is. And when you're selecting your prize cards, I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you look at your prize cards this way, they're vertical. When you use Daisy's help, they're horizontal with 4 and 2. And then when you go to select your prize cards, they're 3 and 3 horizontally. So it's like you can look at your prize cards 3 different ways with Daisy's. It's just This game is an absolute UI nightmare. The user interface, like what user interface? Right? You go look at other games, like you look at that Bloodborne 2 that was announced for Switch that's not Bloodborne 2, it's actually like a PvP. It's like Fortnite but with Bloodborne or something. I don't know. It's a very weird. It's PvPvE, which that hurts to say. But it's just like there's UI designers. There's people in the industry who design you. Okay. That's cool. I'll just knock you out, bro. So here we go. Oh, they could. Okay, everyone in the YouTube comments, I know I said to just say something that I forgot about because my brain is mush. Tell Astro Boy that you are disappointed in them. And Astro Boy, that movie was terrible. The Game Boy Advance game was actually really good, but the frames per second went down to 10 when you used the special move. But everyone type in the comments, Astro Boy, terrible movie.